Hey everyone, and welcome back to Smoltzy and Friends. Recently I received a bunch of emails, texts, and phone calls from people simply checking in on me. They asked, "Are you okay?" They noticed there hadn't been a new podcast in a while. First, I want to say thank you. Thank you for caring enough to reach out to me. That meant more than you probably realize. So when people asked me why I hadn't been recording, my answer surprised them. I said, "I'm doing great. I just decided to pause." To be honest, I started wondering if I was creating and posting too much content. Sometimes we can become so focused on producing that we forget it's okay to breathe. Here's the interesting part. I didn't stop writing. The ideas never stopped flowing. The thoughts kept coming. Life kept teaching me lessons. I filled pages with notes and reflections. I simply wasn't pressing the record button. The content was still there. The purpose was still there. The passion was still there. There was just a pause. And something happened that I never expected. The pause actually affected people. Some of you were looking forward to new episodes each week. Some of you reached out because you were genuinely concerned. And others may not have noticed. And that's okay too. Everyone consumes content differently. But what I learned is this. Sometimes you don't realize the impact you're making until you're quiet. And if you're a first-time listener, I want to say welcome. Chances are someone shared this episode because they care about you. And I'm grateful you're here. If you've been listening for a while, let me reassure you. I didn't go away. I wouldn't even say I'm back. I'm simply continuing the journey. Life has a rhythm, and sometimes that rhythm includes a pause. Think about music for a moment. Without pauses, every note would run together. It's the silence between the notes that gives the song its beauty. The same is true in life. You know, sometimes God uses the pauses to prepare us. Sometimes He uses it to refresh us. And sometimes He uses it to remind us why we started in the first place. You know, the pause wasn't the end of the story. It was simply part of the story. Moving forward, I may have a different rhythm than before. Maybe I won't release episodes as often. Maybe some weeks there will be several because something is placed on my heart. I've decided not to chase a schedule. If something is placed on my heart that I believe could encourage someone, I'll press record. And if there's a pause, don't assume something is wrong. Sometimes a pause is exactly what's needed before the next chapter begins. Before we close, I want to personally thank everyone who called, texted me, emailed, or checked in. Your kindness reminds me that this isn't just a podcast, that it truly is a community. And we are building it one listener at a time. And for that, I am incredibly grateful. So let me leave you with 3 things to remember from today's episode. First, a pause doesn't mean you've quit. Sometimes it simply means you're being refreshed, refocused, or prepared for what's next. Second, never underestimate your impact. You may not realize how much your words, encouragement, or presence mean until they're absent for a little while. And third, life doesn't always need constant motion. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is pause. Listen, grow, and then continue when the time is right. I want to thank you for joining me today. Until next time, keep moving forward, embrace the pauses, and remember, sometimes the silence is preparing you for your next message. I want to say God bless you, my friends, and this is Smoltzy saying I'll see you on a future episode.